we want you to leave here with a good overview of who we are as a temple. So we have some fun facts about Temple Orisha Ile Ifa. We were founded by our padrino, Baba Victor Guzman, 20 years ago. However, we were established as an official 501c3 organization in 2019. Our padrino is Baba Victor, and our madrina is his wife, Dr. Toya Guzman. So our ever-growing temple is so blessed to have 9 Babalawos and 3 Orishas currently. Yeah. We have our padrino, Baba Victor Guzman, Omo Odu. We have Baba Jose Chiquito, Baba Jose Junco, Baba George Junco, Baba Justin Rodriguez, Baba Juan Carlos Junco, Baba Rudy Lu, Baba Victor Ray Guzman, and Baba Shiloh Bell. And then as far as our Orishas in the temple, we have Francesca Guzman, who's a priest of Obatala. We have Celeste, who is a priest of Shango. And our Iya, Dr. Toya Guzman, who is a priest of Oya Yansa. Hekwa, hey Yansa. So we have a very diverse membership with people of all races, gender identities, and from all walks of life. We believe that the strongest way to become a part of a community is through active participation and relationship building through being present. We believe something that our ancestors have always known, that the fastest way to learn something is seated at the foot of your elders. Ifa is our roadmap and guide to elevated living. We understand that Ifa is the ultimate code from the Supreme Being of how to live our best lives. Through interacting with Orisha and ancestors, we bring balance and blessings to our lives. We are a family. We love each other and we care about each other. We have a culture of caring and sharing. We support each other and we work hard to create a loving environment that is non-tolerant of toxicity or negativity. We learn together. That's right. We learn together. This is not an Ile where information is suppressed and learning is restricted. We teach each other, and our elders are very big on making sure that you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Also, we have an online learning community where we meet up monthly to learn and receive a community reading, and that's aspiritualexperience.com. Okay, so that now you've all learned a little bit more about us if you didn't know already. Something that I personally want to talk about, because, you know, last year I gave a little bit about why I'm here. I've been here for 4 years now, and this is my family. I searched for this family for a very, very long time before I got here, so I have such a great appreciation for all of you because it took me a long time to get here. One thing, if you are meeting new people today, introducing yourself to someone different, maybe you've been here for a while, but there's a temple member that maybe you haven't seen or you want to get to know and you're talking to someone. Part of the reason why we are such a diverse group of people here has a lot to do with our experiences with Ifa. So when you go to speak to someone and you don't know what to say, or you might feel unsure of yourself or unsure of like, why am I here today, you know? A good question to ask or a good thing to talk about is, what is the most profound experience you've had with Ifa? Because every single person here is here because we've had an experience with Ifa. We've had a reading, we've had something come to fruition, we've seen evidence for ourselves individually how the word of Ifa never falls to the floor. So I want you, when you speak to others and when you get a chance to, really talk about what is that moment for you where you said, Ifa is really it. This is really it for me. And if you haven't had that moment yet, look forward to what that is, because there's so many people in this room that can tell you, even from the smallest of things that they said, you know what, this is coming up too frequently, or this is too personal for this to be a coincidence, to the many people in this room who have experienced miracles, through Ifa. So find that connection. That's where we connect with each other. We might have not a single other thing in common, but I promise you, we've all had an experience with Ifa, and that's why we're here. So I appreciate all of you, and it's such an honor and privilege to get to do this again this year. Thank you so much, Baba. Thank you, Mama. Thank you to our elders. Every year. All right, and I hope you all enjoy and have a good time. Thank you. Oh, you got your hands full.
Okay, well, I want to say welcome to everybody, to this wonderful family that we have with our my Aluo, the founder of the whole temple. He's a great example for me to lead and for me to follow, and he's a great example, of leadership. And we could start off with that with my madrina too. She's also a very perfect example to leadership of the temple. Okay, so we're here. What a good year is going to be, even though it's going to be a very good year. We came with a osobo, but even though we come osobo, remember the osobo is within ourselves. And the osobo is within ourselves, and we have to make the most of it. Okay? A lot of this, we came, Irosogunda, we're going to be talking about, as Lulu's going to be explaining, the Odu that's going to be represented this year. We have to take care of each other. We have to take care of ourselves, start taking care of our situations, and start taking care of our immediate times that we have with everybody around us, and appreciate. Just as how I as Olu was saying, that he appreciates my press, same thing for him. He's very appreciative to everybody, in every walks of life. Because I'm sure we're all here for a reason, and we all have been here for a situation that he has come through for us. And we appreciate that. Correct. It's going to be a year that we're going to have to, it's going to be a little challenging, but remember, this is going to be a year that we're going to have to look within ourselves and for us to be okay. Okay, so we have a little bit of sobo, tonowa, so let's look into our bettering ourselves, our lifestyles, our health. Okay.
Celeste wanted to say she's going to also lead a little information on a message that is going to lead us into being ready for the sign of the year.
Yes, so for our first witness, we have Oggun Yewa. So in Oggun Yewa it says, one man with the strength of Ifa can defeat 30 men and win. So that's what Ifa is saying for us, that the strength of Ifa is with us this year. And what that means is not only just strength, there can be strengths in different ways, but what Ifa is telling us is that Ifa gives you the knowledge of your destiny, and Ifa lets you know things before it's going to happen. Ifa is guiding us all throughout our life, so Ifa is telling us that our strength is going to be the wisdom that Ifa gives us through the guidance that we get, and that's going to be our strength to allow us to overcome, and we can defeat. As you can use that as a metaphor, defeating 30 men. One person can challenge 30 men and win because they have Ifa on their side. And that's what Ifa's, the strength for us is coming through knowing our destiny, and Ifa's revealing this to us and guiding us. And it's the strength of the intelligence and the wisdom to know our destiny. Sure.
Thank you, Celeste. Francesca is also going to say something on a particular Odu that is manifested in this year.
Thank you. First, I just want to say that I'm so happy to see this wonderful, beautiful crowd in front of me here to witness the Odu of the year and to be with us for our new beginning. Shar mentioned, what are those moments that make us believe, okay, the Ifa is really it. I've seen this crowd grow so much over the past few years. We used to be a small little crew, but now we're filling up spaces, y'all. Like, we have people here, we have grown so much, and I've witnessed, been by my father's side, witnessing all of the transformations that we have gone through as a temple, and I'm so excited to see what we have next coming this year, because in the heart of our yearly reading is Ejiobe, which is the #1 Odu of Ifa. Yes. This is the sign. Ejiobe is all one, so when we say that, we go like, so it's just kind of funny, but that is the #1 Odu of Ifa. And when you think of #1, you think of leadership, you think of the first one. And I think that this is so special because the Odus that this is surrounding is ones that talk about manifestation and the strength of Ifa and personal growth. So with this being the #1 Odu, I think of the start. And that makes me think, how am I starting my day? What kind of intentions are you setting out for the year? What kind of energy do you want to go out into the year to see yourself accomplish great things? Because in Oggun Yewa says, whatever you speak will manifest. Whatever you speak, the good or the bad. So what kind of alignment are you going to put yourself in? How are you going to start your day? We have beautiful sunshine today, even though it's so cold. And I think that this Odu is just so special to be in the heart of the reading, supporting the first witnesses and our first Odu, because it shows us that the sun will always rise. We will always have new beginnings, and this is the year of transformation. So if you think about Oggun Yewa, anything that you say will happen, think about what is it you want for this year and for the years to come. It will happen. This is the year to start your transformation, because Ejiobe is the epitome of new beginnings. And as Baba Rudy put it on the first day of the year, he said to lead your own life. He said to take charge, be organized, think about the things that you want and write them down. You have all these thoughts in your head, things that you want to see, put it to work, because this year it will happen. If you say it, it will happen. Okay. So just like I've seen this whole temple go through so many transformations, I've seen firsthand my family, my sister, my brother go through so many transformations. Every single day I see them growing and learning in Ifa, and I believe that this will be possible for everyone here. So if you're here, it's for a reason, because Ejiobe also talks about your Ori and your destiny. So if you're in this room and privy to hear these messages, you were meant to hear them, and I hope that they give you any alignment and elevation throughout 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca. For y'all don't know, that's her head sign in Kufa. So she's speaking from experience, right? Child of priest of Obatala with Oshun. All right, Fefe, you wanted to say something on the Odu side?
All right. So before I speak on the Odu Oggun Yewa, which is my head sign, and it's also the first witness? The second witness, I'm sorry, of the actual sign of the year. But I want to give you guys a little bit of information about the two Orishas who are ruling the year. So when the Babalawos pull the sign for the year to get all the advice from Orunmila, how to guide our lives, for the year. In addition to the signs that we receive, we also receive the two Orishas who will be helping us to walk in our Yireh, to manifest our destinies and things of that nature. So the first Orisha, who is actually the ruling Orisha for the year, for our Ile, for our temple, is Oggun. Oggun. I am so excited that it's Oggun. Because Oggun is one of those Orishas who we feel like he's really misunderstood. When we think of Oggun, we think of like fighting, we think of like cutting through, and don't get it twisted. he definitely show up like that. You know, if it's necessary, he definitely can give you the strength to fight any battles that come your way this year. Listen, I've sat in some of you guys' yearly readings so far, and I know it's going to be some challenges coming through, and that's okay, because we have Oggun, and we have Ifa, we have our Babalawo to assist us and guide us. We're not walking through blindly. But in addition to being that fearless warrior that Oggun is, he is also stability. He is iron. His element is iron, and we know that that is the strongest element that there is. So he's coming into our lives to give us strength, to give us some stability so that we're not floating all around when all of the changes and the new beginnings come. He's helping us to establish ourselves so that we can manifest our destiny and walk in the array, all right? So that is the masculine energy that is manifesting for us. The feminine counterpart who is accompanying him is she's a little bit not known as much, I think. Yewa. She, her colors are pink, and she is the Orisha of the actual cemetery. So when we think of Oya, we think of the cemetery as well, right? The ancestors and things of that nature. But her sister, Yewa, who is the one who is accompanying Oggun this year for us and bringing the feminine energy, she is actually the owner of the inside of the cemetery. Oya is the owner of the gates or the portal that leads into the cemetery, okay? So Yewa, she is the one who is with the ancestors, okay? In addition to the cemetery, she is also the Orisha of purity, feminine energy, the innocent little girl who is just fresh and have not been tainted by anything. And as I talk about Oggun Yewa, and we go deeper into that conversation, you'll understand how when Yewa comes into our lives, she's asking us to get into the innocence of ourselves. Whether you're male or female, doesn't matter what your identity is or anything like that. She's asking you to get into the essence of who you truly are. The challenge with this is the inner child, because Yewa is really, in essence, talking about the inner child. So this year, we're going to be challenged to go back and to do some shadow work, to revisit those uncomfortable areas in your childhood that may be blocking you from moving forward and from having that new beginning that Francesca spoke of. You know, some of us are carrying around some wounds that have not been healed just yet, some things from childhood that is preventing us from manifesting our best lives. So this year, in order to operate in the array that is being bestowed upon our Ile, we're asking you, Yewa is saying that she's here to assist you into healing those inner child wounds, okay? So the third sign for our Ile is Oggun Yewa. And for me, again, I said that is my sign in Kofa. And for me, it's like there's three main points that stick out for Oggun Yewa. The first talks about the ancestors. This will be a year where we're learning about your ancestors, venerating your ancestors, getting to know your ancestors, and probably more importantly, healing any inner child wound that may be coming from your bloodline. This is the year to start that work, because Oggun Yewa says that you divine with the power of the ancestors, meaning that your ancestors are over your shoulder, speaking in your ear, wanting to know you, wanting to connect with you, and wanting you to heal so that you can be the best version of yourself, so that you can elevate them so they can be the best versions of themselves, right? Also, Oggun Yewa is a very, very spiritual sign. So this will be the year where dreams is going to be cracking off, y'all. Dreams, just that intuitiveness, spiritual knowledge and know-how, those things will come naturally to you. So, of course, Baba and I and the girls and your God siblings are here for you. If you find yourself trying to navigate that and it feels a little, difficult, we will be here to assist you to navigate the spiritual upgrades that you guys will be receiving and experiencing this year. right? And the final thing that from Ogburoso, I mean, there's a lot. It's a really rich sign, and we'll upload more information for it. But the final thing that Ogburoso is very well known for is the relationship that you have with your father. Yeah, it's like that. And what it says is, whether your father was a positive influence in your life or a negative influence in your life, heaven is asking you to get right with that situation. Whatever that looks like for you, for some people, going to your actual father is not the best thing for you. We understand that. But we're talking about the inner work. The inner work. If there's a father womb or a womb there that was put there by the masculine father figure in your life, this is the year to work through that. This is the year to do that shadow work, to heal. And Orula only asks us to do the things that's going to allow us to manifest our own destiny in a positive way, right? So it's not to hurt you, it's to help you. So going into that the father inner child, and working together with Oggun and Yewa to heal, to let go, because there's some release works, and to allow the new beginning that's in the heart of all of our reading, the Ile's reading, to be able to come forward. Sometimes we have to let some stuff go so that some new things can start, right? Ashe. All right. So now, it's that time. It's time for us to, for Baba to come and give the message, but we have a lot of guests here, so we want to make sure that you know who you're talking to, who you're listening to, and who's talking to you. So we're going to ask one of his goddaughters, who has been with him for, I don't even know how long, she could tell you herself, to come in and give a formal introduction to Baba. Miss Liz Renilson.
Dronski. Hello, everybody. Oh, y'all were loud. So I have the honor to introduce today an amazing human being. And I'm sure a lot of you guys already know where I'm coming from with this. But I want to introduce to you today our Baba Victor Guzman. He is highly respected and experienced Babalawo from this wonderful city of Chicago. He has dedicated his entire life to the spiritual practice of Ifa, Lukumi, with over 20 years of experience as a Babalawo and 25 years of an Orisha priest of Shango, Shango, Babami. He has received some of the highest initiations possible throughout his spiritual journey. As an Osainista, Baba Victor is skilled in working with herbs and has also received the sacred Ifa knife ceremony, becoming an Oluo Obe Kunaldo. Furthermore, he has received Olofi, which is the highest initiation possible amongst Babalawos. Baba Victor is not only highly experienced and knowledgeable Babalawo, but he is also known for his warm and welcoming personality. His core values and beliefs center around love and trust, which incorporates into every aspect of his spiritual practice and personal life. Baba Victor has a unique ability to make people feel safe, secure in his presence, which we all know is very important. He treats everyone with respect and kindness and never takes advantage of anyone's vulnerability or for any spiritual guidance. He is a trustworthy and reliable source of information, and his readings and remedies, man, they're on point. Let me tell you. Overall, Baba Vic, your ashe and your huge heart and your welcoming personality makes you one of the best people in this planet. Thank you. And for those that have not had the pleasure to know Baba Vic long enough, you will get to know that Baba Vic will take the plate of food that he has in front of him and give it to you. He will take the shirt off of his back and say, here, I don't need it. I'm good. So I am blessed, we are blessed to have you as an elder and to have you guide us into our destiny. So without further ado, Baba Vic.
Wow. Thank you. That's an introduction. I'm beginning to antsy as you see me just kind of like pacing back and forth, you know, because I know the Spirit's going to move me. As you know, the tweakage happens. I'm going to try to keep it cool, but no promises. All right, so listen, this is the reading of the year. This is what Ifa's telling us, and the reason why we led with Celeste telling us about why do we have so much strength over anybody else is because we have knowledge. We have knowledge of our purpose, right? We want to know what's our purpose, what's our destiny, how do we move, how do we eat? Because Ifa is, people ask me, what is Ifa? Is it a religion? Is it a culture? Is it a spirituality, a way of life? But honestly, it's all those things. Because if it's not all those things, you're not getting the full benefit of what Ifa can do for you. Because Ifa wants to guide you of how to live, how to eat, how to pray, what to avoid. And that's what makes us strong, of knowing and having knowledge. But knowledge is one thing. Applying that knowledge is wisdom. So it's not enough to just have the knowledge. It's not enough to know the road. We have to have the wisdom of how to apply it and take action. So this year, we have to take action. This year, we're asking for new beginnings. We need, if I was like, listen, I need a new you. I don't care if you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day, then get up at 4 every day. I don't care if you work out. I work out, you know, shoot 3 times a week. Work out 4 times a week. Work out 2 times a week, and then meditate 2 others. Do something new. If I was like, listen, you got to create a change. Because we're in a state of a sogbo, meaning we are in a low vibration. When you're in the lowest vibrations, you're susceptible to a lot of things. You can get sick. You can run into some bad luck, bad destiny. Things are out of alignment. You ever notice that sometimes everything just goes wrong? Sometimes this happened, and then car broke down, and this, and I got hurt. It's because you're in the flowing of the lowest vibrations. We got to rise up, which means if I was like, you got to be different this year. Okay, there's no more playing around. We have to be our best self, as Francesca and Celeste were saying. And Ifa wants to hear what we have to say, because our words are powerful. He's giving us knowledge. What is he saying is that the words you speak is going to come true. Oh, that's fine enough, but every day you're saying, I can't stand this life. Oh, I'm just not good at this. And I'm always late. I need to get out of this house. So what you're saying is, absolutely, the universe is going to respond, yes, you do. You will always need to get out of that house. So one of the things that I want to speak on is our knowledge, our understanding of creating new beginnings. Let me reference, before I get too much into the old dudes, and I will be speaking fast because it is recorded and it will be uploaded. And I want to give some time for the vendors after the show so they can kind of, showcase themselves and then get to, mix amongst each other and everything. So I don't want to take up too much of the time because it will be recorded. But I want to reference 2020. And the reason is I want to reference 2020 because that's a really good year that everybody can know, when something really big happens, to be like, where were you when this happened? Or what happened in 2020? 2020 was a very universal year that affected everybody globally, right? January 1st, 2020. This is before March and everything started coming out. Before people started hearing about anything of the COVID. 2020, January 1st, we pulled Eji Ogbe, the first sign in Ifa. Ifa was telling us there's new beginnings. This is going to be a new life and new starts. He fought through us. The first witness was Owani Chobi, Owani Ogbe, which was saying, be careful. Mid-year, there's going to be separations. There's going to be arguments, revolutions, police problems, tragedies. What happened? George Floyd, the riots, pandemic. Well, the pandemic was the key because, but that was separate. So the heart of this year is Yobi, but the heart of 2020 was Ogbe Tura, which says this is where epidemics flooded the earth. I kid you not. That was 2020, January 1st. And then closing out our Odus of 2020, Ogbe Ofun, which says the ending of things and the beginning of things. That was 2020, January 1st. And if you're going to tell me Ifa wasn't telling us what's coming, and who was ruling that year? Elegua and Oya. Why? Because they mean something as well. Because Oya was like, I'm going to help you with all these changes. Elegua is like, I'm going to be there as you go down different roads, but I'll be right beside you. And there's going to be a lot of revolutions. That was 2020. And I'm telling you that because every single year it's the same information to guide you. I remember in 2020, it was like 1 in the afternoon, I went live on our Temple Facebook, and I was like, yo, this is going to be a year like you never have known before in your life. The epidemic changed. And after that year, it's the ending of things and the beginning of things. We have never gone back to the regular life that we've known. Remote, how we fly, how we eat, the pandemics. So it changed the way of life. All right. So y'all ready for 2024? What if I want to tell you this year? And get ready for that. You guys ready? All right. Let's start with the ruling Orishas. Oggun. As we heard from Afefe, Oggun represents strength. But he represents a lot of things of who he is. He's misunderstood. So mind you, you're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be judged. It's hard to be misunderstood. It's difficult when people are judging you, looking at you, making you feel like you ain't good enough, or making you feel like you're doing something wrong, or making you feel like you're the problem. And all Oggun wanted to do was fight our wars. What happens when a lot of wars, a lot of soldiers come back, they were ridiculed for what they do and judged and left in the space sometimes and are left with the traumas. They're misjudged. But also Oggun represents intelligence. He represents technology. What's in our phones? Minerals, right? Without Oggun, without the metals, we don't have technology. So Orunmila is telling you, utilize Ogun's energy to rule over the technology that you will be having this year. Understand the metals and the minerals that you would need. We came Osogbo, meaning out of alignment, health concerns. And Ifa's talking about our bodies and our health, and Ogun's talking about minerals. So I guarantee you, if you want better health this year, honestly, I'm going to give you the solution right now if you want better health. It's really not that simple. I'm sorry, not that difficult. It really is quite simple. You need the right, yes, vitamins is important, but we need minerals. We need minerals in our body. Find out what you're deficient in. There's parasitic things within our bodies. Learn how to rid yourself of parasites. Supplement vitamin D. Your iron and your copper. I guarantee you, you're going to have optimum health. People think, why do you get sick in the winter? Because you're catching a cold. You're low on vitamin D. And it's the layering up that you do, again, further blocking the sun. So get your vitamin D, remove the parasites, work on your minerals. You can have optimum health. The accompanying Orisha is called Yewa. And I'm going to tell you a story of Yewa. Now, there are many what we call Pataki stories. I own Bataki. So, I'm not going to get too long into the Batakis, but I want to tell you a little bit about Yewa. She was, and again, many versions. In this version, I'm going to tell you, she was the daughter of Obatala. She represented his innocence, his purity. She was the one out of all the Orishas that says, Obatala, you are Obatala. You are the one of the temple. You are pure. You are clean. You are untainted. You represent that. And as your daughter, I'm going to dedicate my life to you in being that as well, in the feminine energy. And she said, I'm going to be celibate, never have any man come into my life, and I will live in your castle. I will stay with you. I will, as a dedication and sacrifice for you, Baba, Obatala. She was very beautiful, and she used to go through walks in the garden. And every time she'd go out, word would spread how beautiful she was. Shango, she caught his eye. And in this story, he had timed it where he would meet with her and see her. And something happened to Yewa. She started having feelings. She started having feelings for another man. And she felt ashamed. She felt impure. She felt something was wrong. So ashamed, she went to Obatala and said, Obatala, this is what's happened and this is what I'm feeling. I have failed you. Obatala says, well, the only way to solve this is I'm going to have to send you away where no man, no Orisha can have access to you. And that is when she went away and she went into the realm of the dead where there's no living, no Orishas. And when that happened, she dedicated herself to working with the ancestors and the non-living and being an educator. But why is Yewa defending us, accompanying us with Oggun? Because she recognizes that there's a lot of females that are feeling not pure, trauma. And she's like, I'm coming into your life and your energy to bring back that innocence to you. I'm giving you a start. I'm giving you a fresh start. I'm taking that. I sacrificed my life so you can live. So this year, she's saying, don't worry about what's happened to you. Don't worry about who's taking advantage of you and try to take away your innocence and your purity when you were young. Yewa's like, I got you. Okay? Yewa's like, I sacrificed for that so you don't have to. And I'm bringing knowledge to you so you can live your life and understand that you're as pure as they come. Oggun is alongside. What happens when a baby's born? Man, this kid's smart, I tell you. What'd you say? Cut the umbilical cord. That's Oggun. It's time to cut that. You want to talk about cord cutting? But why are you cord cutting? Cord cutting relationships? No, cord cutting that energy that you don't need anymore. Be in the purity of Yewa this year. Honor her, wear pink, and understand I'm still that girl. I'm still him. I'm still her and him or they. I am who I want to be. I'm going to segue into another topic. The first Odu of the year, it also Tolda, it also Ogunda. This is where a lot of things that are going on in this Odu. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a lot of the messages with Ifa, but also try to give you something relatable, something you kind of can understand the different meanings. This is where Oggun when Obatala was creating the universe and in different Orishas and different things that were happening, he created, he got to Oggun, but then, Olokun, and kept moving on. He didn't give Olokun a gender. And Olokun was waiting. Olokun was like, hey, all right, all right now, you're like, are we gonna come back? And he kept going to Obatala. Obatala, I know you're getting kind of close to finish. You're not waiting for that. You haven't given me that identity yet. Obatala, he was too busy. And then he finished. He goes, I'm done. Olokun ran into a rage. Olokun's like, you haven't finished. You left me without an identity. Waged war on Obatala. It is said that he had his army that went after Obatala, and they were waging war. And in the midst of the war, Olokun was losing, and he had a friend called Shango. And he went, Shango, he goes, Shango, I'm fighting this battle here. He goes, I hear you have a knowledge of some beasts that can spit fire, the dragons. Shango said, yeah, I do. You need help? I got you, Olokun. You know why I got Olokun? Because you've always been partners with me. You've always been very respectful to me. And let him use the fire. And the wage was gone, and he won the war. But at the end of the day, he still was left without an identity. So I want to talk about that. Just like Olokun felt, I don't know quite who I am. I don't know who I am. And that's a lot that's going to happen with everybody this year, of figuring out exactly who you are. What's your mission? What do you stand for? What's your view? What type of person you want to become? Are you the person in a narrative of a story that was hurt, that was abused, that was left, that struggled, that is failing, that is just can't get it right? Or are you the person that was victorious? Are you the person that because of those experiences you are living? And sometimes you feel like, I don't know who I am. I'm trying to at this job, but I don't know if I'm doing this. I don't know what to do with this job, this career. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to live. I don't know. And it's a lot of figuring yourself out, but I guarantee you, before this year is over, you will understand exactly who you are and what you're meant to be. Another thing that happened, and it says, in Iroso Gunda, the clock stopped ticking. Okay? And some we associate that, and let's be on the literal. Be careful of your heart. All right? Be careful of our heart and heart health, because we did come assaults of our health conditions. But as a Babalawo, Baba Jose came to me, and I've been a Babalawo for 21 years. He came to me and said, you know what? This sign talks about time and how time can stop for you. And I started pondering on that a little bit, and I started, you know what, I'm going to get into that. And at the end of the day, we need to stop and slow down to the time that you become present. Because a lot of times people say, why is it that, the only time that you lose time is when you go to sleep, right? You go to sleep at like whatever, and say 10 o'clock, and you wake up and boom, you feel like you lost time. Or if you were knocked out and you lost consciousness and you wake up until a different time. You have lost time. Why? Because you weren't conscious. You getting what I'm getting at? You're not conscious. Even in the present moment, your mind is somewhere else. We need to be in the moment if you want to acquire more time. Because otherwise, I don't care if you've lived 80 years, half your life, and 75% of your life was worrying somewhere else, trying to wait until I get this, until I do this, until I retire, until this, until my kids move on. You're never in the moment. And you lost years. You want to gain time and gain years, be in the moment, because there's only one time, which is the now. You either are living your dreams or living your fears. You are living in a dimension that don't exist. Start being present in the now. Because even if you start thinking of the past, it's still in the now. You are always in the now and the present tense. Time stops. And that's how you gain more time. Y'all hearing me? Good? All right. Also, some of the things that in Oggun Yewa I want to speak about is that we have to know what we are eating and putting in our bodies. It's very important because it's a story of how Oshun was taken captive by 3 robbers. But she had done a bow with the Orunmila, and an issue, it says, create 3 piles of food and put an arrowhead in each one of them. And travel, and this will be your salvation. The robbers, on the other hand, were told, do a bow and know what you're eating. Don't just eat something you don't know what's in it. Lo and behold, she was traveling, they got Oshun, and they grabbed her and they kidnapped her. They took her to her lair, or to their lair, and had all these, all these other stuff that they were robbing people, all these riches and everything else. They got a hold of her, they started stripping her down with the valuables and things. They saw the 3 things of food, and said, oh, one for each of us. And they started devouring it and just eating it. And they all choked to death right there. And Oshun survived. Oshun wasn't no dummy. She's like, yo, all this other valuables right here is coming with me. And she became wealthy. There was the 3 as well. They were also warned, don't go out in 3s. And they all died. One would have survived, one would have been there. So really be careful about being in 3s this year, about dynamics of a 3rd person. But also, it's a metaphor about what you eat, how you eat, what's in your body. And that's knowing the ingredients, knowing what you are putting in your mouth and in your body. Okay? Another message in here is that Ifa says, if my head is not for sale, nobody can buy it. And I could just leave you with that, and that's a wonderful saying, that's fine. But what does your head represent? Your destiny, what's in all of that? Your consciousness, your moods, your emotions, your feelings. Take control back. Don't allow things in the past. Don't allow things from other people. Don't allow the coworker, the parent, the cousin, the person, whoever has doing and saying something to harm you. You control your head, and it's not for sale. You're not going to get me angry because I own my head. You're not giving it to me. You can't have it. You're not going to upset me. You're going to betray me and make me feel upset? No. You think because you're trying to shame me and what I do, you're going to make me feel bad? No. You think of what you did to me in the past is going to make me feel shame about myself? Absolutely not. Because I own my head, not you. And I decide how I'm going to think. Start thinking for yourself. You don't have to think like your elders or people you grew up with or certain culture that you grew up in. You don't have to do that. Think for yourself and be different, as what Ifa tells you this year. Be different. Nobody owns your head, because if they own your head and you allow them and if you sell it, what's going to happen? Your destiny. So now that you've given away your emotions, your mood, your anger, now you've changed how your destiny is in manifesting for yourself. And now you've lost out on what could have been and you gave it to somebody else. But my head is not for sale. Okay? And that's something that we all have to, you don't live in fear. Don't live in anxiety. Start taking control. And this may seem harsh, but I'm about to tell you, but don't take it this way. The trauma that you went through, you're not special. And I'm telling you that is because there's no person that's going to live this life that's not going to experience trauma. I guarantee you, you want to have a conversation? You want to throw everything out there? What kind of trauma did you experience? And they'll, oh, me too. And you thought you had it bad. Trust me. We're not talking what's going on in the other countries in the Middle East. We're not talking what's going on in these other, listen, we got first world problems. Don't come to me. Everybody has experienced trauma. If we can grab them some chairs, anything, grab them some. Everybody has experienced trauma. Don't think that your situation is so hard of giving you an excuse to live a certain way. Start taking control. Cord cut that trauma and let it go. You don't want to live your life and your best life in a different time frame of the past and not in the now. Oggun is defending us because he's a warrior. But why are warriors and soldiers are only as good as the wars they've been through? Right? You're not a warrior if you didn't go to war. Right? Each and every one of you are warriors, soldiers, because I know you've been through it. There's somebody here today, I know, I don't know exactly who it is, but I feel it, they're hurting. And I'm praying for you, whoever's here who's suffering. But understand that you are only a warrior because you went through the war. And we're continuing to fight wars. The problem is we don't know where the battlefield is. I'm going to tell you where the battlefield is. It's in your head. They say the evil will work with what's inside of you. That's the greatest weapon they'll use. Or you got insecurities, or you got ego, or you got this, you got trauma, or you feel, they'll come at you with what's in you. See, but if there's no enemy within, there's no enemy without that can defeat us. So what Orunmila is telling you is understanding that you are all warriors. And it's okay, you went through it. But we also have Yewa to bring about that feminine balance and the blessings. What Orunmila is telling you in the heart of the reading is that he's telling us there's a new start and a new beginning, and there's a sun that's going to rise again. Okay? All we have to do is look to a different day and see things differently. Start to release the past. Start to build on a new. He wants to see new. Okay? I'm going to leave you with a few different things. We need to start moving with purpose. Nobody goes uphill on accident. You understand that? You can let gravity pull you, but if you're going to go uphill, it has to be on purpose. So what Orunmila is telling you this year, start having some direction, start having some purpose. What is it that you want to do? Start making a decision. Do you want to be a businesswoman? Do you want to be this person? Do you want to be happy? And put it out there and say, this is what I am and I'm grateful for it. And start living that, because it's about identity change. In order to change something about yourself, you need to change the identity. If you want to change habits, you got to change the identity. I am no longer this person that, they say don't strive to be, to go to the gym every day. Strive to be someone who's disciplined. Don't strive to be on a diet. Strive to be the identity of a person that is a healthy person, that lives that way, of a healthy lifestyle. Okay? Don't strive to say, I want to make more money. Strive to be a person that walks as if they own something. Sometimes I'll say all the time, I haven't gotten what I got because time hasn't caught up to it yet, but it's mine. I love all you guys. You guys are all my God kids and my family. I'll do anything for you. And I know my purpose. My purpose is to be one of you. My purpose is to be next to you, alongside of you, fighting the wars, fighting the battles. Okay? And there's strength in the collective consciousness. Choose your culture wisely. There's a culture in everything. My household has a culture. My wife, my children. My God kids is a different culture. This is a different culture. Even amongst my God kids, there's different cultures. Again, I'll tell you, show me your crowd, and I'll show you your future. I've said that before. And if you want to be different, then you need to be associated with a different culture who's acting different and being different, being the person that you want. I guarantee you that energy, because I'm going to tell you something. Frequencies, vibration and frequency is everything. We know that, right? It's almost cliche, but it is what it is. Vibration and frequency is everything. And your culture is your vibration. So if you're around toxic people, negative people, oh, woe was me, and this happened to me, and blah, 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 look at her, look at him, that's the culture. You see, but the reason why there's such a family-oriented temple is because a collective culture and vibration is of love and respect. Because if that energy, the two different vibrations won't mix. Chaos will not live in peace. So a lot of times you'll see temple members leaving, person leave and find an excuse to walk out and do this and that and the third, because their vibration was different, and you're going to feel different. So maintain your vibration, maintain your culture, maintain your frequency, love each other, respect each other, make this year be a new year. Good? All right. I do want to leave. He's trying to end it. He's trying to end the speech real quick. He's like trying to clap. He's trying to clap me off the stage. All right, I do want to leave anybody for any questions at all regarding the temple or anything. We have our temple members here. Please talk to us. The flags of the year that we marked, and every yearly reading we mark, if we can't, what are the odus? What are the vibrations? What are the portals? Are we vibrating in Ire, which is blessings, alignment, or balance, or are we out of alignment? And Ifa says we're out of alignment with health concerns. He gave us the information as to what we got to do. All the information is going to be uploaded. I'm going to get into like some of the real tangible things to mention. Alcohol. Ifa was real strict on taking that away. And some of my temple members, actually, you know what? My temple members, they were like, they beasts. They were like, yo, done. I guess I'm not drinking. I guess I'm done. I was at a party and I was like, no, thank you. I was like, man, y'all didn't even complain. I said some memes and everything, a little like, on our inner group, with that one kid, he's like, don't come to me. Leave my house. I won't talk to you ever again. And it says, when you find out you can't drink anymore. Alcohol is a problem. Mind you, let's not get into so much metaphysics. Oggun is iron. Fights, knives, guns, car accidents. Don't push it. Also for your health. There's something that happens with the alcohol and the fermentation that's riding up within your body. That's all we can do is get that message. Also, pork. Pork is something that we want to avoid. because of the cancers and the things that's going to be happening. I remember one year we had that Odu as the primary Odu, and there was something wrong with the swine industry that year. Trust me, if I be knowing. I always come back to 2020. Listen, trust every single year after that. There must be something to it. That, and then, just in Oggun Yewa, I'm going to end it with respect for our ancestors. This religion is all about our elders and the elders that lived before us. And that's the biggest thing that you can do is honor your elders. If you want to honor your ancestors, live your best life, man. They're not living. They're not living. And they want you to do nothing but honor them by being happy. If you want to honor someone who's passed and crossed and had to leave your life a little prematurely, live your best life. You want to be rich? You want to be wealthy? Wealthy is not determined by the amount of money you have, I guarantee you, because there's a lot of wealthy people and rich people that commit suicide. There's a lot of celebrities who commit suicide. If you want wealth, it's measured by the quality of your emotions. Then you have wealth. That is the biggest wealth, and that is the currency of God, is to live in positivity and happiness. All right, so let's go through that, and let's be wealthy, and let's be happy. Ache? Thank you. More information will be posted.